Hello there, my name is Shaq. In today's video I'm going to be talking about undue hesitation. A lot of learner drivers get confused as to what exactly is undue hesitation. Some learners, they try to be extra safe in their driving test, stopping at each and every single junction. They believe that this will help them pass their driving test. Whilst other learner drivers, they try to avoid being hesitant and they pull out unnecessarily too early into the main road. They usually get failed on their observations. Essentially, undue hesitation is failure to proceed when it is clearly safe to do so, usually happening at junctions. The question in many learner drivers' minds is, can I fail my driving test for being hesitant? Now, this will depend on two factors. The first thing that the driving examiner will take into consideration is how frequently the fault occurs. So you've started your driving test and you've come to the first junction. If it's clearly safe to go, but you stopped, you're being hesitant, the examiner will probably give you a minor fault. If then you continue to drive for 15-20 minutes without any problems, and then you came to a roundabout, and once again you were hesitant, again the examiner would give you a minor fault. Now, if you were hesitant on 4 or 5 different junctions, that would then become a serious fault. So that's the first thing, the number of times you are hesitant. The second thing that the driving examiner will take into consideration is how the fault affects other road users. So for example, if you're at a roundabout, it's clearly safe to go and you're not going, so you're being hesitant, and the driver behind you horns at you or goes around you, that would be a serious mistake. Now, please don't assume that just because somebody else, another road user, has horned at you or has gone aggressively around you, that you would fail the driving test. If it is unsafe to proceed, the driving examiner will be able to see that, and the driver horning at you will not affect the result of your driving test. So the big question is, how do you avoid being hesitant? How do you avoid undue hesitation? Now, earlier on I mentioned that undue hesitation usually occurs at junctions. So the very first thing is, on approach to a junction, we need to assess whether it's an open or a closed junction. On approach to this mini roundabout, we can clearly see that it is safe to proceed. If we stopped at this roundabout, that would be marked as undue hesitation. On approach to this roundabout, we have assessed that the junction is open. We must plan to stop, slow right down, but assess the situation and hope to proceed. If it is clear and we stop unnecessarily, that will be marked as hesitation. On approach to this junction, we cannot see anything in the main road. We must come to a stop. Once you've stopped, edge out, creep out just a few inches at a time until you get a good view. Only proceed if it is safe to do so. On a busy junction, rather than looking at the traffic, look for gaps between the traffic. When you go for your driving test, you need to convince the examiner that you are no longer a learner driver. In order to pass your driving test, you need to drive in a positive but a safe manner. Undue hesitation has nothing to do with the amount of time spent waiting at a junction. If you are 99% sure that it's safe to proceed, do not go, because it means that you still have that 1% doubt. Only proceed if you are 100% sure that it's safe to proceed. Remember, you cannot get marked down on undue hesitation unless you have missed a chance to proceed when it was clearly safe to do so. I hope you found this video beneficial. If so, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps us to make more videos. Good luck with your driving test. Drive safely, but without hesitation.